Hillside Winery sits on the steep sloping bedrock of Naramata Bench in the central Okanagan Valley. Here along the Trans-Canada Trail, where visitors can walk or cycle to wineries, we catch up with winemaker Kathy Malone at Hidden Valley Vineyard. Malone has made a bold statement by committing every hillside label to using only Naramata fruit to showcase the over 2 billion-year-old soils of the narrow 20-kilometer-long bench.
Came out to the Hidden Valley Vineyard here and saw this beautiful aspect, and I started to look at the Syrah and realized that it must be a pretty special place because they clearly were able to ripen Syrah, and that's a tough one. Mm-hmm. And I really liked the style Syrah that they were making, and I figured, you know, if they can ripen Syrah, probably any variety I'd be interested in would do really well on the bench. So, you know, I've had the opportunity to work with fruit from all up and down the Okanagan Valley, and the time that I've spent in Naramata, I've come to recognize that it's really a special collection of conditions. You know, the fruit has a balance that I really like. It makes wines with balance and elegance, and wines that a style I like to make and I like to drink, and you can drink a lot of them.
The concept of making village wines is common in the Old World, but not so much in BC. At Hillside, a cool weather vintage in 2010 forced the team to reevaluate its use of non-Naramata fruit in the winery's flagship red Mosaic. Keeping the blend consistent with richer southern fruit was a breeze, maintaining its soul was not. It became obvious it was the bench fruit that gave Mosaic its unique story, something others couldn't possibly copy.
Why aren't we just having the same look at our whole portfolio?
Yeah.
You know, why not just focus on the Naramata Bench? It makes sense.
Sense of place has always been a part of Kathy's vision. In 2008, when she first arrived at Hillside, she set up a valley-wide tasting to examine the variances terroir might play in the textures and flavors of her Merlot. She got a major surprise that not only led to the idea of committing to 100% bench fruit, but to telling the story of Naramata Merlot based on a series of single vineyards.
It was like a Sesame Street episode. One of these things is not like the other. You know, the Oliver fruit really stood out as being different. But the Naramata fruit had a flavor strand that was similar throughout all the wines, and yet each wine was distinct.
The reason for wide differences between Hillside's trio of single vineyard Merlots, Joa, Hidden Valley, and Dickinson, in some cases separated by a road or only a few meters, is the legacy of the region's ancient geology.
The difference between above the road and below the road, and the significance is the road is thought to be the shoreline of glacial Lake Okanagan.
It's said that seasonal flooding along the higher ancient shoreline of Okanagan Lake explains the increased gravel mixed with some silt in the vineyards above Naramata Road. Below the highway, heavier silts denote the ancient lake bottom. The differences are even more apparent in the tasting glass. Above and east of Naramata Road, Hidden Valley Vineyard is more floral and red-fruited. Below the road, Joa is earthy and meatier, while Dickinson Vineyard, perched on a bluff overlooking the water and subject to the steadying influence of the lake, is the most balanced of the trio. Brennan, what can we know about these single vineyard wines?
Well, the Hidden Valley is very classic Merlot, very, you know, bright, deep plum flavors. And then the Joas, you can taste that soil influence with, you know, some sort of meat juice, soy kind of flavors as well, and a real umami kind of going on there.
And then for some reason, the Dickinson seems to just have everything all in balance. Fantastic trio.
Thanks.
Don't stop. Malone has an uncanny sensibility to tread lightly upon the fruit of her Gamay, Pinot Noir, Syrah, and Muscat, but it's her work with Hillside's barrel-aged and unoaked Pinot Gris that really demonstrates her ability to tell the story of the Naramata Bench.
The first year that we made this, we had just brought on a new vineyard on stream that's in the middle of these orchards, and it has this bright orchard fruit, white peach, green apple, just bright core of fruit. And we had been fermenting our Pinot Gris in oak, and I thought, we don't want to lose these bright flavors. So we made the unoaked Pinot Gris. What do you think?
I think you got all the flavors in the glass. It's perfect.
And can I just before oh my god!
Cut!
Oh